Greetings from your Covid Chaplain. G'day from Australia. Great to be with you. And I trust you're enjoying this day. I trust you enjoy this Lord's Day as a day of rest, a day to recover from whatever happened last week and to gear yourself up and get ready for what's coming in the week ahead. I want to encourage you, friends, because today, as the Lord's Day, is given to us as what we are supposed to treat as a day of rest. Now, a lot of people get very busy, and as busy as ever on a Sunday. Some people get out and do more physical work, sometimes on their day of rest, than they might do any other time. But I want to challenge you today about a spiritual aspect of rest. And that spiritual aspect I want to bring to your attention is that we are to rest in faith. Rest not just from the physical work of, doing things in the yard or doing our work in wherever we are working, but to rest internally, rest in our head, rest in our heart, and not to be struggling and striving, to come to that place where we just rest because we know God has everything under control. And that kind of rest I call the rest of faith. Because if you don't have faith that God's got it under control, well, then you have every reason to be agitated and to be struggling and striving and working long hours and getting up in the middle of the night and doing whatever you can. But once you know that God's got everything under control, you can enter into a kind of a rest where you rest because God's going to do the heavy lifting for you. He's going to do the things that need to get done, watch over you, protect you, and care for you. There's a kind of a transition that Christians work through. I don't know your particular faith, how strong you might feel connected to God, but consider this progression that people have. People start out their Christian journey with a sense of, oh, God is up there and I'd better be on my best behavior, and they might learn to build relationship with him. Or they might come in the other way where they're told about their salvation and they leap in with joy and enter into a relationship with God with a lot of faith and a lot of energy. If you're raised from Sunday school as a child in a Christian home, you might tend to have a more formal attitude toward God. You've learned to fear him and understand him. Whereas people that are a little bit older who come to faith often dive in saying, wow, this is what I've been looking for. And they leap into the relationship. But I want you to see that the transition that comes for us, however we've come up into our Christian journey, is to actually, as it were, step out into the water, do something that's illogical, something that causes our heart to beat, something that actually challenges us because God says we can do it, and yet everything in our logical training says it can't be done, So that's why we get agitated. God says, give me the problem, I'll look after it. And we say, really? Really? And so we find ourselves in that situation where we're really just stepping out on the water, stepping out of the boat to actually let God be in control. We've never given him a problem before. We've never had him come and actually solve problems. That's why testimonies are so great. You hear the stories of what God has done for other people, and you say, that's crazy. That's amazing. Really? Did that really happen? Your mind will struggle with all of that, but you come to understand God is God, and God can and does do miracles today for ordinary people, like you, like me, just ordinary people. God is ready to move on our behalf, and so then we can give him our problems. We can pass to him the things that are agitating us, and then we can come to that place of rest. So today, friends, this is a day of rest, but I want to make that more specific for you. I want this to be your rest day. Rest, not just because you sit down and have a cup of tea and don't do all of the physical hard work things that there might be to do, but because you rest in here. What would cause you not to sit down today and just enjoy today? Well, maybe you've got children to look after. Maybe you've got responsibilities. Okay, I understand that. But what about that? What would stop you internally from just resting today? Why don't you take those things, the things that would agitate you, that would make you become distracted, and say, God, today I just want to give those things to you, and I'm going to trust that even if you don't fix the problem, it won't get any worse over the next 24 hours, so that I can have a day of rest. A rest day where I can actually just know God's got it under control. It's not up to me. I put my cares in his hands and I'm going to rest. That's your challenge for today. And so, because you're resting, you can do all the fun things you like to do. You can sit and read a book, you can put your feet up, you can have a cup of tea, you can play with the kids, you can ring a friend. You can do the things that you would do if you were at rest. Come on, get busy resting today, because today is rest day. God bless you.